Hi guys, my name is Melanie Ludy and I create videos on how to use digital tools to make your teaching more effective. This week we're going to cover probably the most basic program that you need to master to be successful online, Google Docs. Honestly, if it's not a slide, it's a document, pretty much. So today we're going to cover some of the basics of, a word processing program like Google Docs. A lot of it is the same as Microsoft Word, which is entirely intentional. Then we're going to go over some of the more finer points of Google Docs and some of my favorite ways to use it, including making hyperdocs. Let's get into it. I opened a new document and I titled it. Let's just look at some of these basic features first. All right, so first thing, let me just give it a title up here. So, hyperlink doc of videos. So then if I highlight it, I can do my basic kind of text tool. So Control B to bold, Control I to italicize, Control U to underline. So I love to insert tables either just like a 1-by-1 if I want a box for my students to write an answer in, or for this case, I'm gonna actually make, I think, a 2-by-4. Yeah. So then over here, I'm gonna put the title of the video, and over here, I'll put the link. I want to fill in that header row, so I'm gonna go to my 3 dots in the more, and I'm gonna click on, I think this yellow one will look nice. Yeah. All right, so then make sure my bold is off, Control B. All right, so then I'm gonna go to my channel content and I'm just gonna get those links. Where's my document? There it is. So then I can just paste the link in there like that. Or I can insert it as a link. So insert link, I can paste the link there and I can write forms so that they could click that. Or I could use the shortcut key Control K to put that in there. And let's see, GC app. Perfect. Okay. So then I could click any of these and it'll take me to that YouTube video or whatever link I want. So this would be really useful for your students if you want to put all of your resources in one spot, or if you were looking to, say, put all of your Zoom links in one spot. I created a document for my instructional coach, which has all of those links in it, nice and handy for her. So let's see. The basics of left align, center, right, and justify, just like you have in a normal document. We talked about links. Let's add a comment. So if I highlight something, I can add the comment up here, or I can add it over here. And then I could say, this is a whatever, and comment. So for my students, this would be really helpful when I'm editing their writing. So I have this here. So if I go to the top here, it naturally puts me in editing mode when I'm in a Google Doc. If I am looking at a student's copy of something in Google Classroom though, it'll automatically put me in suggesting mode. So in suggesting mode, I can change what I am putting on there. So like if they have a grammar error, I could add in the comma, the period, the capital I, whatever, and they would see my change and what they originally wrote. So they would see the corrected mistake. So then you see my suggestion comes up in green here, and it shows up as this over here. If I click the checkbox, it'll accept that suggestion and it'll change the text to be back at black, like that. If I say change this back, and then I don't want to accept that and I reject the suggestion, my edit will go away and it'll go back to how it was. I find that really useful for my students. The usual numbered list, bulleted list, let's see, tools. Let's go to tools. Spelling, grammar, and word count, just like usual. Let's go to version history, actually. So let's look at the version history here because this one is just a lot easier to see what's happening. So last week when I recreated this document, I made a copy of my in-class project version of this, so it looks very different. So because this was in person, there's no color on here. There's a lot of spaces. There's lines for students to write on because this was going to be printed out for them to handwrite. All of this. And then I deleted a whole bunch of stuff in that first edit, and I put in those colors on the boxes. And then let's see. You can go through each edit and watch me delete everything. So I could go back and pinpoint exactly where edits were made and how things were done. So let's get out of version history. So I can hover over here and I can make this short and I can make it wide. If I highlight all the columns that I want and then I right click, I can go distribute columns to make it nice and even for myself. With 2, it's not so bad. But say here where I have 5 columns, if I accidentally like move this all the way over and make it a pain like that, I can just highlight my columns really quickly, hit distribute, and we're fixed. Let's go to the highlight tool. Let's actually get rid of this comment. So I could highlight this text, go to the highlighter up here, and highlight that. I can also make a copy. So if I go File, Make a Copy, it'll automatically tell me the copy of whatever my title is. I could also change what folder it's in and go from there. The other thing I like to do is email as attachment. It'll automatically email this as a PDF, so you could send it to people outside of your network and they won't be able to edit that document. Other things I wanted to show you. Voice typing. So I go to Tools and I go Voice Typing. So I click this. This would be a really handy tool for your students in special education or in your English as a second language program. It'll get the gist of where they're going, period, but it doesn't always get the spelling 100% right, period, especially if your kids mumble like mine do, period. It got most of this right. Just have them go through and check, like this mumble is oddly capitalized. You also have the option to translate the document. From what people have told me, it's like 85% accurate. So like certain verbs are not what they should be by people who actually speak the language. So if you have a translator that your school has on contract, I would maybe send them the translated version to just kind of clean up, but up to you how you're going to do that. The other thing I wanted to show you was drawings. So this is a worksheet that I created for my 7th graders last week. And this is a picture that I got off Google, but then I added these colored arrows to kind of make that image more helpful for them. So it gave them the temperature of these currents going around in the mantle to kind of make it more clear for them. So to do this, I did insert and I said drawing and I said new. And then I pasted my image into that drawing. So if I double click it, I can edit the drawing. So this is just the image I pasted, and then these are the arrows I made. So let me redo a set for you so you can see how I did it. So I just click the line here, and I'm going to pick scribble. You can pick a more formal line or arrow or anything like that, but this is a little bit rounded. So for me, I just wanted to do a free form. Okay, so then I'm gonna go arrow and boop. Okay, I'm then gonna make it thicker so my students can see it, and I'm gonna change the color, and there you go. That's all I needed to do. For a simple kind of drawing like that, drawings is great, especially if you just wanna add something like that onto a diagram. Then I could hit save and close, and it'll show up with that updated version for my students. I hope you enjoyed this video about Google Docs. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button down below and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought, where you think we should go with these next couple of videos. Also, consider hitting that subscribe button down below so that you get notified whenever I upload any new content. Thank you again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.